I now call on Representative Zeldin of New York for 5 minutes.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chair, Mr. Secretary. Thank you for being here. You recently announced sanctions on the former president of Albania, Sali Berisha. For many, this seemingly came out of nowhere. As far as a history of U.S. political associations, he was a guest and ally of the Bushes. He was also known to be an aggressive opponent of George Soros. What specific information can you share with the committee at this time to justify this dramatic move?
Thank you. We continue to look across the board at those who are engaged in corrupt activities, who are undermining human rights or pose a challenge to democracy or democratic principles. We had, in his case, the case developed through the normal process, including our lawyers, and I'd be happy, if it's helpful, happy to share with you exactly what went into that.
Yes. Is there any specific information that you can share with the committee at this time in this hearing?
I don't have anything to share right now for the committee, but I'd be happy to come and make sure that we share that with you and anyone else who's interested.
I tried to do some research as to what type of new information involving his corruption, and I couldn't find anything. So where should anybody go? A member of the media, let's say, wants to find out information, because there's some back and forth going on right now between the State Department, your decision on the sanctions against him and his family, as well as Mr. Berisha's defense. Where would a member of the media go to get information on what corruption you're referring to?
Sure. Two things. First, with regard to members, before I get to the media, please come to our Office of Legislative Affairs, and we'll make sure that you get the information. And second, with regard to the media, of course, please come to the Office of the spokesperson and Public Affairs, and we'll make sure that, consistent with whatever other obligations or restrictions we have, we make information available.
Okay, but are you aware of anywhere that is open source info backing up this claim that there was some new allegations of corruption involving Mr. Berisha?
I think that certainly anyone from the media can ask that question. For example, in the briefings that we do every single day at the State Department, and get whatever information we have that's publicly available.
Just to clear up one item of Mr. Berisha's defense, have you? I'm just trying to understand what's true and what's not true. Have you or anyone on your behalf had any communication with Mr. Soros and anyone on his behalf? Just trying to clarify what's true and what's not true.
I have not. I can't speak to the entire State Department, but I have not.
If, with regards to the COVID origin question that you were asked, what would the U.S. actually do of substance to pressure China to give access to the lab if China does not grant that access?
Congressman, what we've seen, unfortunately, more than unfortunately, from the PRC since the beginning of this crisis is a failure to meet its basic responsibilities in terms of sharing information, providing access, and doing that in real time with transparency. That was true at the start. It remains true, unfortunately, today. And I think what you're seeing is through the work that's being done, for example, at the WHO, the work that we're doing, and the concerns expressed by countries around the world, that there is a strong chorus insisting that China make good on its commitment, on its responsibilities to provide the information. I don't want to get into hypotheticals going forward in the future about what we would or would not do, but I think I can say with confidence that there is going to be an increasing international demand that countries, including China, meet their responsibilities when it comes to providing information, access, and transparency on global health, including COVID.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. And there are just many in Congress who are skeptical of whether or not China is going to grant access to the labs. So we're trying to understand what the next step is going to be. if and when China says that lab access won't be granted. Also, to clarify one other point, does the Biden administration recognize Israeli sovereignty over the Golan Heights?
With regard to that, as a practical matter, Israel has control of the Golan Heights, irrespective of its legal status, and that will have to remain unless and until things get to a point where Syria and everything operating out from Syria no longer poses a threat to Israel, and we are not anywhere near that.